Hello everybody. As promised, I'm going to be in this video doing a 2016 in review. Well, actually it's going to be a two-part thing. I'm going to be doing 2016 review, and then I'm going to do the second part and upload that whenever I've edited it, being kind of like goals of 2017. I've never taken 2017 resolutions or revolutions, what is it? It's resolutions. Sounds like a camera thing. Whatever. I've never taken that crap too seriously. I think if you're going to do something, you might as well do it. But I don't see anything wrong with setting like a group of goals for a year that you want to get done. Just in general, if it takes less than a year, then sweet. If it takes more than a year, then so be it. Anyway, rambling. I figured I should probably get started with 2016 in review. Alright, so this isn't going to be in any particular order because I'm very bad with time. Time is completely fucked for me. I could be talking to someone and be like, remember last week? And it actually had been like 6 months ago or something. Really just got a completely warped concept of time, so try to ignore that if you can. So 2016, I do remember the very start because it was very difficult for me. I was actually in hospital at the very start of 2016 due to difficulties in my mental state. Very brief period of time I was in hospital. I'm kind of wishy-washy about adding that to this video just because, like, I don't know. But hey, it's fucking in now, so deal with it. Anyway, next up is like the celebrity deaths, because that was like bang right on 2000. Actually it was before 2016 because Lemmy died just before 2016, but I'm kind of adding that death into 2016 because he fits into like whole legends dying around that time thing. But yeah, we had so many people die. I remember when I was told about Bowie dying, I was like playing Sims or something and Nicholas came in and it was like very weird acting, and I was just like, what's up? And he just sat next to me and he was like, Bowie's died, and I just stared blankly into nothingness for like an hour, just like, fucking what? I don't understand. Because I don't think it was kind of publicised, the fact that he was so unwell that he was going to fucking die. But yeah, that came to a shock to everybody, I think. I'm not going to mention every celebrity that died, because as I said in my last video, I'm going to try and keep this a little bit upbeat if I can. Because there was a lot of good shit that did happen to me in 2016. So, moving on. I started studying. I decided to do a program which is pretty much going back to VCE as an adult, because I didn't end up finishing that. I technically have my Year 12 equivalent. I did a music course and that was the Year 12 equivalent, but universities won't take that, so I decided to go back to VC, try to finish that. Unfortunately, that didn't actually work out. There were a few problems with my studying and I had to quit about, I think it was just after mid-year or something. I kind of just like stopped going. I didn't completely quit until September or something, but yeah, if you can hear dogs, it's because there are dogs, as I've mentioned in other videos. Whoa, I'm so like low energy right now. I've got to bump it up. Isn't that what YouTubers do? They just get like fucking so fucking energized. Holy shit, I want cocaine. I also focused a lot of stuff spirituality wise this year. That was fucking sick. That's a weird way to put that. I started doing a lot more practicing than I had in previous years, because I kind of go through waves of not practicing as much, which I do feel quite guilty about. But I'm trying to get over that guilt because I've noticed it's something that does happen to a lot of practitioners, so I'm just not worrying about that too much. This year though, okay, I'm not going to mention this year's stuff, I'm going to mention last year's stuff. Watch out for my next video so I can talk about that kind of thing in this year. Kind of, words. The fuck are words, man? I made my Instagram this year. I was so fucking anti-Instagram for years. I was just like, it's so vain, it's so ridiculous, what's the point of it? People are so obsessed with themselves. And now I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna upload like every fucking day. So I gave into societal norms there. I think I mentioned in my first Instagram post, I was in class when I made it, no, I was having a cigarette break from class when I made it. I was like giving into societal norms and making an Instagram. I had all my Sabbats, not all of them, I think I did Samhain, Yule, Ostara, and recently Litha, which I talked about. So I had all of those. I did little barbecues for all of those, most of which were at gardens in the city. Those were fucking lovely. I made a whole video about the fact that I do those, so check that out if you want to. Fuck, I'm so low energy. I should have like downed 3 coffees before doing this, but honestly coffee doesn't affect me in that way as much. It just kind of makes me bear existence a little easier, if that makes any sense. This year I also started taking initiative with my relationship with food. I haven't had a very healthy relationship with food in the past, but this year I've been trying to be really healthy. I've been eating regularly, I've been taking vitamins, I've been working on loving my physical form a lot more, and I really, really fucking dig it now. And just, yeah, love it enough to be kind to it. So I've been eating pretty much every day. I've been downing so much water and just working on being healthy as well as having body type that I desire. So I, pat on the back for that one, mate, because if anybody has any history with eating disorders as I do, then they can understand that that's not as easy as the one might think. I don't know how much I want to go into that whole thing. Might make a video on it at some point, might not, might think it's a bit too personal. But yes, so I'm quite happy with that. I've had so much more energy this year than I've had in like the last 5 years, so that's awesome. Like, I'm still a pretty low energy person, but I've had a lot more energy, and it's really helped so many things in my life to have that energy. Obviously I started YouTube. That's a big thing that I've done this year, that I just bit the bullet. I stopped trying to be, this kind of image of perfection before I started a YouTube channel, because I kind of felt like I have to be the most perfect version of myself before I start a channel or whatever, and I just dealt with the fact that nobody is ever going to be the most perfect version of themselves any more than they were, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm going to continue to evolve and get even better throughout the years, and like, what am I going to do, wait until I'm fucking 50 or something to make a fucking channel? No, fuck off. I created my first event through my like page. That wasn't a gathering through my like page, which wasn't a purely promotional type deal. That was pre-drinks for Inquisition. We didn't end up actually having pre-drinks, but we ended up having drinks, but it wasn't pre-drinks because Inquisition unfortunately had to cancel their Australian leg of the tour they were doing the day before it was announced, so I turned the pre-drinks into morning drinks, and I got absolutely fucked up. That's what, if anybody follows me on Instagram, that picture I uploaded of me being really hungover, that was the day after those drinks, so you can kind of like, yeah, it was fucked. It was crazy. This year I DJ'd for the first time, which was a huge thing. I talked about that in a video. Since starting, I've DJ'd at the New Order, which is a goth club, Ragnarok, which is a rock punk metal club, Haxon, which is an alternative gothish club, Fang, which is an alternative gothish club, and I did the New Order again not too long ago. So I think that's all the ones I've done. But yeah, so I've had quite a few gigs, and I've got another one coming up on the 21st of January. If you followed my like page, then you will have seen me post about that, and there is a discount code that you can use, which is my DJ name. Just go to my like page and you'll see. I've always got my like page linked in the description, so fucking have a look at that if you're keen. I'm sorry that I keep fucking with my hair. It's just really hot, and I don't know why I wore a fucking skivvy, because it's so fucking hot. Like, it wasn't even this hot an hour ago, but it's just suddenly warmed up so much. I don't know if it's this room or something. I wish I brought a fan in here, but it's too late for that now, because I can't be fucked. I modelled for the first time. I also had a video on that. I modelled for Death of Art, one of their shirts. Those pictures still aren't up yet, but they will be at some point, I'm sure, so I'll definitely make an announcement about that at some point. So just, I went sober for 3.5 weeks, which doesn't seem like a very long time, but for somebody like me, this is kind of with the whole trying to be healthy thing. I did try to limit my alcohol intake. I, to an extent, tried to limit my smoking, but I didn't, really bother limiting it that much. It was mainly the alcohol that I felt was necessary to have a break from. I was meant to go for an entire month, but hey, 3.5 weeks, and then I kind of fucked up at a barbecue that I was hosting because I stressed out about those things. So I just, had a drink and then had many, many more drinks. I voted for the first time this year. I voted for the Prime Minister of Australia. I did not vote for the one that we got, but yeah, something you gotta deal with, I guess. So, whatever. That wasn't as terrifying an experience as I thought it was gonna be. Because I've gone with other people who voted before, and it's usually like this big horde of people that are just being really cranky and stuff. The only thing that shitted me off was that there are no fucking sausages. Usually at Australian voting places that you go to, they have sausages, like a barbecue thing going on. There wasn't any barbecue. I was shattered, but I went to a pretty out there location to vote, so there weren't that many people there, so it wasn't like I had to be surrounded by all these wankers and stuff like that, so I was pretty happy with that experience. It wasn't as daunting as I thought it was going to be. The actual voting process is weird though. I worked with a lot of events this year. I did a lot of merch stuff, I did a lot of promo stuff, I did a lot of DJing and working with so many people in the metal community and the goth community, which is awesome, totally awesome. So keen to do that shit next year as well, this year, whatever. Sorry, it's the transitional period, so I'm going to be fucking up whatever I say. Pretty much fucking everything I say I'm going to be fucking up, so deal with it. What kind of voice was that? Deal with it. Who does that sound like? Fuck. I don't know. Sorry, tangent. Every time. I went to both Melbourne and Victorian picnics, which were awesome. Filmed one of them, so check that out if you want. There isn't going to be a part 2 to that because I am bad at life. And I went on a hiatus. That light is, by the way, the laptop, so I can keep on track with what I'm saying instead of going off on every single tangent fucking imaginable. Things did start getting hard financially this year for me. I'm dealing with it, it's just something that you've got to just deal with, pretty much. It's not like I'm on the streets or anything, so I'm happy with what I've got, even if it isn't very much. Actually, as of very, very recently, decided to get back into acting after like 6 years of not doing it, just on a whim. I won't be going too much into the details of those projects because I don't like to talk about projects until they're done. Like that's what I did with the modelling thing. I didn't talk about it until I'd actually done it because, I don't know, I just don't feel like that's something I should do, ever. So, like unless I'm specifically asked to hype something up, I don't want to talk about it until it's completely finished, so it's not like this big hype and then nothing happens. Like just if anything happens, like, I don't know, I'd break a leg and I can't do the project, and then kind of funny that I said break a leg. If I injure myself and I'm unable to do the project, or if it gets scrapped or something like that, then whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. And today my brain is just not braining, so just deal with it. I saw a whole bunch of international and obviously local gigs. I'm at a local gig like every week, but I saw so many international bands this year. Not as many as I would like to have seen, but as I told you, not in the best financial situation. Most of the gigs I did get to go to, I was either working front row floor, got in because my partner was playing the show with them, or got a ticket bought for me. I think I only paid for about 2 or 3 of them myself. So I'm really lucky to be so well connected in that way, otherwise I'd have missed out on so much shit this year. Said bands are Rainbow Dragon Eyes from America, Vampilia from Japan, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, L80, that was awesome. Got to hang out backstage with those guys. They're so nice, holy shit. Terror Squad, Cryptopsy, Immolation, Destroyer 666. I know Destroyer 666, they're originally from Australia, but they're in Europe now, so I'm counting them as an international band. Saw the Mission recently and saw the Cult recently. So yes, many bands, very awesome. Hoping for a shit ton of international bands next year as well. And just for like the sake of my own sanity, I'm not going to mention all the local gigs I went to because, as I said, I'm at one every weekend and there are about 4 or 5 bands on at every gig, so that's like hundreds. Like, can we just not do that? Maybe. Yeah? Okay. Sweet. A moment of silence for all the international acts I didn't get to see. Just like sadness. And bro, oh my god, why did I leave my Facebook logged in? Because I'm getting notifications and they're ruining my fucking video. I celebrated the 1st anniversary of my partner and I. Made a video about that. So yeah, I'm very happy to have been with this absolute madman for a year, over a year now. It's very cool. I've known him for longer than that obviously, but happiness. Officially we've been together for over a year now, which is ultra awesome. I somehow, like, in another video I've mentioned that I'm not a gamer at all. Somehow I've recently got into Skyrim. It's just my partner got me to play the special edition just because, get me to play it, and I did, and now I'm fucking hooked, and I just, it's terrible. Like, I've played games before, but I never wanted to consider myself a gamer just because I didn't play very often, and like, I don't really think it would be fair to consider myself like a straight up gamer just because I played like Sims and Mario Kart and like Rayman 2 and Animal Crossing and shit like that. GTA like a couple of times. So I never really bothered with saying that I was a gamer or anything, which I think is pretty much fair enough. I think that's fair enough. But now I'd say I'm definitely not. Yeah. And to finish off, I'm going to be talking about Christmas and New Year's. Christmas and New Year's. Christmas, we were supposed to go out with my side of the family. My partner and I were supposed to go out with my side of the family to go on a picnic or something. We didn't end up doing that because it was like so fucking hot that day. I think it was like almost 40 or something, 40 degrees Celsius. And it was so humid, and we just basically lounged around in the house dying the whole day. Like, there was lots of food and stuff, and lots of happy times and alcohol-y times and family times and whatnot, but no, we didn't end up doing anything because we just died. We were just dead. But as I've mentioned in my last video, my family doesn't really celebrate Christmas too crazily. We kind of just go on picnic and give each other shit. But we don't take it altogether too seriously at all, because none of us are Christian or anything. But it was still a good time with family and stuff. Like, whatever, any kind of excuse you find to hang out with people you love, I think you should just grasp it, which is what I did, which is what my family did, which is what I do when I have my barbecues. Just any excuse to party, take it. New Year's Eve was awesome. I went to, well, I was meant to go to Fad, which is a friend of mine's bar, and a few friends work there, but we got there and it was closed. So we head to Last Chance Rock and Roll Bar for a little bit for a drink, and then I head to 1334/Dead Souls kind of joint event at the Bodega or something. And then I head to the New Order, which was fucking insane. I had so many jelly shots that night because 2 different clubs were having jelly shots, and so many fucking jelly shots. You guys don't even understand. But it was awesome. It was so good. And then I head to Cherry after New Order. Cherry Bar is one of my favourite fucking bars in Melbourne. Ask almost any rock or metalhead in Melbourne, and they'll know what Cherry Bar is. It's, you know, it's my favourite place. I'm there pretty much every week. Not so much as of late, just because I haven't been going out as much. But actually, I'm probably there every week still. I can't stay away from the place. It's like, and then we went to several house parties. They were kind of like after parties and stuff with a couple of friends, a couple of close friends. So that was really good. Recovering from that was hell, but the next day, like even though it was really hot on New Year's, the next day was really cool, which really helped with my recovery. Anyway, yes, I think I've left many things out of this, but fuck it. I mean, oh well. Until next time, don't forget to like and share and subscribe and do all that shit. I'm so bad at ending things, dude. I'm just so fucking bad at it. And like the fact that I'm gonna continue this on and do goals in the same like video is gonna be so hard to transition and say like goodbye. Oh, hello. Anyway, yes, goodbye, and head to the next video, which will be uploaded very shortly after this one is, I'm assuming, depending on how quickly I edit everything.